Finally, Aaron Rodgers coming back. I feel the enthusiasm of the Steelers faithful. Seriously, you guys should just rip the Band-Aid off. See what the future holds for you. But maybe conspiracy here. You guys are intentionally meant to choke, to dismantle your policy, so therefore you can get a new prime quarterback in next year's draft class. Maybe this whole season is a tank. But that is not the Steelers' way to tank. You do have McCarthy, though. Mike McCarthy, with Aaron Rodgers. And they all had a wonderful exit relationship. Could be worse. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and welcome back. We're continuing our 2026 draft recap of the NFL, and now we are in the AFC North and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Division winner, Pittsburgh Steelers. Correct, you young man. And I'm like, do you really want to wear that mantle with pride? Because Pittsburgh, you're more embarrassing than the NFC South. And the NFC South are full of losers that win divisions. At least you guys had more wins than everyone else in the NFC South. So congratulations, at least your division title made sense. So, you got a lot of picks. And one of the bigger needs was quarterback. And you guys took your sweet time figuring it out. Now, you did get a quarterback. Well, we'll talk about why that feels dead on arrival. So, with the 21st overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Max Henchaker, anchor, offensive tackle, Arizona State. Max Henchaker. I've been practicing this young man's name, but I will get it right one day. I promise you, Max. But I'm going to call you Max. Okay, Max? Okay. Offensive tackle, Arizona State. The narrative I was hearing was Aaron Rodgers was going to come back. Because why be a dick and wait? So they were very confident Aaron Rodgers was going to come back. So they focused on building the offensive line. That was one of the pressing needs they need to address. And Max was one of those players that I keep hearing his name getting louder and louder as they get closer to the draft. And while there were other potential candidates for Pittsburgh, there was a part of me where I feel like they're going to get a tackle. The question is who will fall in their lap. And lo and behold, Max did. Some tackles got picked up before Max, and I thought were considered ranked lower than Max. But Max went to Pittsburgh. And sometimes it's kind of cool to go to a competitive team. It worked well for Tristan Wirfs in Tampa, so you can do the same thing. Now I'm putting a lot of pressure that the Aaron Rodgers experiment is going to work, but at least you're on a better team. And if you're successful in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Nation will love you. Trust me, they'll let you get away with murder there in Pittsburgh if you are a very good Steeler. This is a good acquisition, smart, destined for the future, and that's what I thought. They're not going to put him right away, but they'll put him at the right tackle behind Troy Fanan. I cannot pronounce tackles today's names, okay? It's been that kind of day for me. So, I won't be surprised if Max eventually developed. But then again, Troy was still a young man himself, so I don't know. I believe they'll find a spot for him. If not a right tackle, they'll find a place for him. You're not going to get a guy this talented and not put him for value. Then we go to the second round with the 47th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers selected Jermaine Bernard, wide receiver, Alabama. This guy, I felt like if he was on a better team with a better quarterback, he would be a first round pick. That's my thoughts. I really believe if he was on a better team, mainly with a better quarterback, he would have been a first round pick. Technically, under my rules, if you're top 50, you are a first round pick. So, technically, under my BS rules, he is a first round pick. But I really believe if he was with better. Now, that's basically saying that, well, Ty Simpson was a first round pick. We'll get at the Rams. So, can of words in that story. But right now, I'm talking about this young man here. I feel like he will thrive because he was not considered that great and he just fell into Pittsburgh. And I feel like without DK, the Steelers wide receiver core seemed like a bunch of bodies, but no proper placement of where to put them. Now the sad news is that Bernard will probably only play with Aaron Rodgers for 1 year only. And he'll make his mark, probably get 800 yards receiving and probably 3 or 4 touchdowns in his rookie season, and be a great promise. I really believe Bernard will be the future wide receiver for the Steelers in the upcoming years. Let's hope he doesn't become a Juju, a Claypool, an Antonio Brown. Maybe Bernard will become like the Steelers had before with Randall L. and Hines Ward and Plexico Burris. Is that considered still positive in Pittsburgh, or we're still kind of like no? But let's just hope, because I believe Bernard is going to be so much better. He is still technically the 9th in his position, but he probably should have been higher with a better quarterback in Alabama. That is my thoughts on that. Now, about that quarterback situation. In the third round, with a 76th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Drew Adler, quarterback, Penn State. So, getting another quarterback from the great state of Pennsylvania, we'll try that again, I guess. Funny thing about this pick, for those that are not Steeler fans and was wondering, Drew Adler has openly said multiple times he is a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. And the joke was that he wasn't very optimistic about putting on the Steelers hat when he got drafted. He was like, yay. So, say what you want to say. Now, Penn State was a failure last year. And I didn't think Drew was good at Penn State before last year. I felt a lot of it was the running back duel and that great dominant defense. And Ty Warren, that switchblade of a tight end athlete. So, the good thing about Drew, in hindsight, is he's going to a team that should be better equipped for him. He's going to the Jets or the Browns. He's not going to a losing team. He's going to a team stock full of talent on offense and defense. So maybe that'll be a better situation. But I don't know. Kind of a stretch, Pittsburgh. I know you gotta want to address the quarterback, but like I said, you probably picked him to be like, we are not trying to intimidate Aaron Rodgers. God forbid, no. But we need to look like we're somewhat competent in case Aaron Rodgers pull a fast one and says, I'm retiring, suck it, losers. So they had to at least pretend they're planning for the future. They still are, but like I said, we'll see what happened in preseason. Still in the third round with the 85th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Dalen Everett, corner, UGA. I thought we were good at corner. I thought we were good in corner. Safety, no, but I thought we were good at corner. Are we going to move him to safety? Won't be the first time we've seen that happen, so let's take a look. Everett. No, they have him behind recently acquired Jamel Dean, former Buccaneer player. Good luck, Pittsburgh. He plays about 10% of every play because he gets hurt. He'll make great tackles, intercept the ball, return for a touchdown, and then two games later, he'll have a hamstring injury and be out for weeks. Yes. But when he's healthy, he's a ball player. He's a good player. Just gets hurt a lot, so just buyers beware, if you will. But hey, you gave him the money. Congrats to Jamel Dean, make his mark. But just in case he does go through that injury history that Tampa Bay Bands have been having for a while now, Everett will be there. Potential air replacement. If not air replacement, but definitely just replacement. Good solid violation pickup, 6'1", 196. Still fluid boundary, full length, tested well combined. He'll be fine. And I feel like this was, now I'm thinking about it out loud, maybe this was more about, we don't need, because we got Jamel Dean, but this is insurance for Jamel Dean. That's my conspiracy thinking. Still in the third round. With a 96 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Jennings Dunker, offensive guard, Iowa. You all know how I feel. Now, okay, it says he's a tackle. Let me take a look here. Did I misplace him? No, they have him on the depth chart, mock depth chart, as a left guard behind Hoffman and Anderson on the left side. But he was drafted as a tackle, 7th overall in his position. That's not bad. And I put him here as a guard on my evaluation sheet. So, I've always said the Big Ten have always been known to me as the offensive lineman factory. I think some of the best offensive linemen come from the Big Ten. Wisconsin, Michigan, Northwestern, Iowa, Nebraska. You name it, they're there. So now he's a tackle. They're moving him to potentially be a guard. He is 3rd on the depth chart, so development for the future. But at 6'5", 319, and number 7th overall in his position rank, and an 83 grade, and 51st overall ranking, means he's the top 50th, and he happened to fall to 96? Talk about a steal for the Steelers. Dad pun for the win. So, I don't know how soon he'll get on the field, but Pittsburgh fans should be very happy of a very solid foundation offensive lineman for probably the next 10 years. God forbid injuries. Then we go to the 4th round. With the 121st overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Caden Waitjen, wide receiver, Iowa. Okay, this guy is just speed, right? I'm getting Scotty Miller vibe. Like, this guy is just pure speed. He's 5'9", 193. He's 35th in his position, 44th grade, 252 overall ranking. Runs a 4.4 speed in the 40. This guy is clearly your gadget player. This guy is your speeding. This guy is literally your one-trick pony. Which is fine. It's fine. Just admit to us that's what he is. He is the gadget player. He is the MacGyver. He is the Road Runner. Just admit that to me. I'll say this. He's from Iowa. He's a white receiver. Is this your Tim? Is this your Tim Dwight? Is he? Is he your Dwight? Is he? Tim Dwight? Yeah, is he? Just saying. It's okay if it is. Devin Hester was very good at return 99% of his career. He's a Hall of Famer. So, don't hate it. Just admit what he is. 5th round. With a 169th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Riley Nowakowski, a tight end, Indiana. Don't hate the pick. Don't. I don't hate the pick. I do not hate the pick. I'm just asking questions on. I'm trying to. Okay, that's what I thought. Um, he's a tight end, but I see him as a potential fullback because I'm looking over here and they have him at number 37, fullback. There. Okay, that's what I thought. He was gonna be. He has great hands. Don't get me wrong. He's not gonna be just a big guy that blocks. He has talent. I just was like, are you gonna put him at fullback? I know the position has been dead for decades, but dude, this guy is 6'2", 250. He is perfect fullback size, and he can catch. He's not just a big guy that gets in the way. I know it's very old school, but terrorism, I'm telling you. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was successful with John Kuhn for a while at fullback. He was great. So yeah, let's do that. So to me, that's what I'm most excited about. Okay, so my suspicion is correct. He's labeled as a fullback. He'll be utilized there. I feel like this is another gadget play to go with your Tim Dwight clone over there. So yeah, I'm happy with this pick. I think it's a solid pickup. You're developing old school style football of a fullback. Thumbs up for me. Then we go to the 6th round with a 210th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers selected Gabe Rubio, defensive end, Notre Dame. In a 3-4 defensive scheme, where are you going to have this young man? Is he going to be your linebacker outside? Let's take a look over here. Or we're going to have him interior side. I'm looking. I don't see his name again. And another player, I don't see his name. Let me just take a quick peek and see. Are they going to put him at linebacker? Oh, all right. He's labeled as a defensive tackle. I have him as a defensive end. Here we go again. Let's investigate. Okay, and he's wearing jersey number 96. He is labeled as a defensive end. I just don't see his potential home on the mock depth chart, which is fine. It's fine. Defensive end, so I guess they probably will put him. I mean, Cameron Hayward is 37 years old and he's still playing. Not saying that he is meant to be his replacement, but let's be real. Hayward has done more than enough to prove his worth. Still playing is just pure enjoyment of the game, more than money and more than health. So, we will eventually need to have a potential search for an heir. Best to develop him now at a young place. So, to me, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I'm looking forward to it. Maybe because I just need an extra body. Maybe. But, can't go wrong with added help for the future of your probably, at nothing else, Ring of Honor recipient Hayward. Then we go to the 7th round with a 224th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers selected Robert Spears Jennings, safety, Oklahoma. Okie dokie, ravioli. We're finally addressing the safety position. Not hating the pick. Not hating. I mean, he was at Arkansas, then in Oklahoma. That's fine. Solid pursuit. 14th overall. Not bad. Top 15 for a 7th round pick. Not bad. Seems to be a fundamentally sound player. Good tackling, tight and man coverage, speed, length. So basically, just feels like he just needs more time. All the intangible there. No major glaring weaklings. It was projected he ran a 4.32 40, so speed kills. And when it comes to the defensive back, cool. If he's a solid tackle and does the fundamentals well, cool, we'll take that. But as great as his attributes sounds, This still feels like he is raw and probably need a little more time to develop. They currently have Robert Spears at the free safety behind Brisker and Savage, so behind veterans who have had their share of success in this league. Good development for the future. More than likely will probably be a special team star if he makes down as a gunner to make those tackles, and that will probably get him the roster spot faster than anywhere else. And then we'll just wait and see what he does as the season progresses. If not this year, definitely next year. But to me, this is a solid pickup because he will contribute at least right away on special teams. And the last pick. I love this pick. In the 7th round, the 230th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers grant and draft Eli Heinrich, running back, Navy. Now, I've seen lots of people who have YouTube channels and mispronounce this man's name, Eli Heinrich. I bleed blue and gold. Go Navy, beat Army. Navy is in my blood. I've been to multiple Army Navy games in Philadelphia, in DC. I've been there. I watched Navy over USF and UCF. I watch it. Navy, Navy, Navy. Navy is my number one college team, and it always will be. Even though I know that basically for us midshipmen, our successful season is literally, for me, win enough games to go to a bowl game, beat Air Force and Army, maybe beat Notre Dame, go to a bowl game, win the bowl game. A 7-4 season is success as long as 2 of those wins is to Army and Air Force. Win the Commander-in-Chief trophy, we win a bowl game, salute the young men who are going to go and serve and maybe even die for our country to play this lovely game of football. And thank you to the president for allowing these servicemen to go play football. Thank you. That's the one thing I'll probably say he doesn't give credit for that. So congrats to that. I appreciate that. So it's a service academy school. The stigma's already there, but Eli was literally he runs, he breaks tackles, he did everything. He is the Service Academy McCaffrey. He is. And I am hoping. Not only does he make the team, but he plays. Even if it's special teams. But I want him to play. And Pittsburgh is one of the few games that I will be watching to see him play. Go Navy, beat Army. Eli is my favorite. I'm excited. And you probably know where I'm going. And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers draft class. Player I'm most excited about, Eli Heinrich. Serious, I am so excited for this young man. Not only, just watch. He's from Pittsburgh. He's going to his hometown team. He walked on the stage. It's so beautiful to see this. Not because he's Navy, I'm a fan of his, but just seeing all that. That to me, that's the American dream right there. That's the storybook ending. And if he succeeds, it's even better. So, yes, I'm very excited for this young man because I really believe he can do something. Even if it's not with Pittsburgh, I still believe he has value somewhere. And the thing I'm most terrified about it, he will be more valuable to a team that has an offensive-minded coach like a McVay, a Vrabel, a Reed, a Payton. Seriously, if this guy goes to a creative-minded head coach, he might thrive better elsewhere. But for right now, he is the black and gold of Pittsburgh. Grade for the Steelers. I don't think your guys are contenders. Didn't think you guys were last year. This roster is better. Much better. I cannot give you contenders. I'm sorry. This draft class feels like you guys are moving forward, even though there are parts of me thinking you're moving forward for not this upcoming season, but for the season after when Rodgers is more than likely gone. Because he also said, I'm not coming back after this year. Sure, buddy. So, yes, this year is do or die. So all the chips on the table. But this class, even Drew Adler, the quarterback that I'm going about, this feels like it's meant for develop this year, and then next year is when we really will see you. But they're better. Even if not all these players play, I still believe the ones that do play, Bernard especially, will make the Steelers better. Now they won the division, went to a playoff game, I think get like double-digit victories, so maybe they'll win the wild card game this time. But that's the Steelers. Oh, okay, we're halfway through the AFC North. Let's go to Ohio. Ohio, pick one. They're both the C. So the team we're going to go to next, well, I've been ignoring them. We have to talk about them. Let's go to Cleveland, because before this recording, I already know about Myles Garrett. So, boy, this draft class now has a major gap to fill, and the draft's already passed. Here we go again for Cleveland. But that's Cleveland. But until next time, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.